Hey everybody, Ray Pastore here, and we are going to talk about updates, things that have been going on over the last week or so with me. I got a bunch of updates, so let's see where to even begin. So this week has been absolute madness for me. Oops. Absolutely crazy. So let's start off from the beginning. So let's start off with this is the first week of classes at UNCW. So that means for me that I'm in like intense prep mode. I am getting courses together. I am in meetings 24/7, and I accidentally volunteered to do all kinds of extra side projects in addition to coursework and all the things I had to do. So let's talk about all of that stuff. All right, so let's start out. Beginning of the week, first of all, going into the week, we've been watching two more hurricanes, which are potentially going to be coming here, which they're not now. But that's what we were doing in the beginning of the week. So I was dealing with that. Secondly, so my wife, Becca, so last weekend she started this yoga training, which basically is like training to be a yoga instructor, which sounds really great. Like, that's awesome. I'm really happy for her, except the courses it's a 10-week long course, and the courses are Friday night from 5 to 10 p.m., Saturday from 12 to 6 p.m., and Sunday from 12 to 5. So basically all weekend. Guess who has all three kids? Me, which is fine. I mean, they're my kids. That's not like a problem. But it's just that I have them by myself the whole time. Now, the good thing about her yoga training is that she's doing it at home via Zoom because of coronavirus. So she was supposed to do this in a studio, which would have taken a lot more time, but she's doing it at home, which is actually kind of cool because when she gets breaks and stuff, she can kind of see the kids and they don't get miss mom as much. I mean, we're the household. We're like, I swear, like, we kind of laugh about it. We are like a 1950s household where like the husband's away at work all day, even though I work from home, and the wife like takes care of the kids in house. I mean, we're really set up like that. I mean, it's not that bad, but it is. Becca makes dinner and does all that kind of stuff, and I take care of the house, the yard, all that kind of stuff that you would like have seen in like Leave It to Beaver or some like Dennis the Menace kind of show. It really is like that, and it's kind of funny. We both just laugh about how we kind of ended up in that situation. But anyway, so yeah, I have the kids on the weekends now, which is great. I actually like can do all kinds of stuff, but we're also like inconvenienced that she's just not available whatsoever. So anyway, that's happening tonight. It is 3:15 p.m. So she's just going in the training in an hour and a half. I'm gonna actually take the kids for a bike ride and pull, and then we do pizza movie night Fridays anyway. So that's kind of what we're doing. Trying to decide on movie tonight. We're considering Harry Potter, maybe. They haven't seen that. I'm not sure what we're going to watch. Last weekend, we watched, oh, what do we even watch? I can't even remember now. Oh, Ant-Man Part 2, Ant-Man and Wasp. It was okay. I mean, it could be a lot worse. At least my kids are watching like normal movies now, not like, like Barney little kid stuff. They're watching like good movies. But okay, so back to my week. So that's how my week started, with yoga training all weekend, and then we get into the week and it's literally like meeting, and I'm also rushing to prep my courses. So I've got a bunch of meetings, and most of the meetings are just like beginning of the year. Like, so as a professor, you've got like all this beginning of the year, like, here's what we're going to do this year. Here's like an update. Hey, we haven't talked. Let's just meet to see each other kind of stuff. So I had a bunch of that kind of stuff. But I'm also trying to get my courses ready for class on Wednesday. And the way I teach my courses, so I teach all online, first of all. But because of coronavirus, I would have been anyway. But the way I teach my online courses is I make sure that my courses are 100% prepped for the most part before Wednesday. So that means like students can, it's not like, so I know some professors when they teach online, they'll like upload material weekly. I like to upload my material every pretty much once, and that's it for the entire semester. So and my students like that because one of the pieces of feedback they always give me is, Dr. Pastore, this is so awesome that from day one I was able to go in and see what we're doing every week of the semester, so I know when things are due and was able to plan out. So I had to really rush to get that done, and I did get it all uploaded by Wednesday for first day of classes, so got that done. Classes, I'm teaching general instructional design, like training course, and I'm teaching my first esports course, which is pretty cool. I've got a very diverse group of students. We've got majors from all over the place, kids with interests everywhere. We've got undergrads and graduate students in the course. I mean, it's kind of cool to see what they're all like, what all their goals are and everything. So I'm kind of excited about that. I think that course and that program is going to be really interesting to see what happens with it. Reminding me about the esports thing. So I did an interview with the Wilmington Business Journal. Let's see, when did I do my interview? I did my interview, I guess, 2-3 weeks ago. I know I talked about it on here. And it didn't come out, but it finally came out today, actually. And it's actually a really good interview. So that's kind of exciting, like a cool esports thing happening. We're doing a bunch of so that's like that was neat, and it's always like nice to see like, oh, there's my name in something. Like, it's just cool. It shows like, hey, you've done all this work and someone actually thinks like it's a cool thing, and that's like neat to see that, you know. It's just cool. It doesn't really help me with anything, you know. Who knows, maybe some like multi-billionaire will read the article and be like, you know what, they need money for an arena and I'm gonna give it to them. I mean, that could happen, but otherwise it's just something cool, you know. Every once in a while I get an email about stuff like that, and it's always nice to do that kind of stuff and just see yourself out there, different audience. I've never been in the Wilmington Business Journal before, so it's nice to just be in different stuff. So yeah, we got some other esports stuff going on. You know, our club, we're trying to decide on meeting times for the semester since we just started. We've got a lot of stuff to do. We've got to get our teams organized because they've got to start practicing and competing. We've got a tournament, which I've talked about last time, Mario Kart coming up, which is going to be Friday 9/4, so which is all online. So that'll be kind of cool. So we've got a lot of stuff to start thinking about and prepping. All right, so that's like esports stuff, you know, and that's like been my week. It's literally been meeting. Then yesterday, I'm always, you know, I always put myself out there and take on too much stuff. I did volunteer to agree to do a presentation for a group yesterday on like how to teach online, and it was fine. I mean, it was fine. I put it together and everything, but it was just like another task. Like, I guess I have this problem. You know, I like to say that I say no to people a lot, but I do have a problem where I say yes too often. And I need to say no more often. I think a lot of people have that issue. They're like asked to do something, they want to be a team player, and you like want to do it, and you want to help out, and like, what happens is you start to say yes to too many things, and all of a sudden you look at your calendar and you're like, shoot, did I say yes to that? Maybe I did. And now I've got to do it. And I don't think I can get out of it. It's too late. So yeah, that happened a couple times this week. It's going to happen next week too. I looked at my next week's calendar. It was like ridiculous. I got meetings every day. Like I'll tell you what though, I was talking to one of my colleagues about this. So one cool thing about being home all the time is that all my meetings that I had to go in for, that usually like, so let me just tell you about like me going into a meeting. So me going into a meeting means I've got to, let's just talk about the disruption to my day. Let's say I have an hour meeting on campus. I need to get dressed. So let's say getting dressed takes me 10 minutes. I'm pretty quick. Let's say 10 minutes to get dressed. That involves usually having a drink of water, brushing my teeth, brushing my hair. I don't use an iron. I use a steamer actually to steam my clothes. If you don't use a steamer, go use a steamer. They're so much better than an iron. It literally takes 1 second. what I do is actually put my steamer, like I'll turn it on in the bathroom. I'll have my clothes hanging on the door. I'll have my steamer on. While it's like heating up, I'll brush my teeth. By the time I'm done brushing my teeth, the steamer's like psh, like shooting out this steam like everywhere. And then I'll literally like in 1 second have a shirt done. It's so amazing, such a cool piece of technology. It was like $20 at Walmart. Just go buy a steamer. They are awesome. Like just a steam cleaner, like not like a professional cleaner. I'm talking about like the generic $20 thing that shoots out steam. Really works really well. It's like been like one of the coolest things that I have to get ready for work. So I really, really, really like that, and I do like talk it up. And you can even like sometimes I'll have a meeting and I'll realize like I have a wrinkle. I'll turn the steam and I'll just steam like myself. Now the disadvantage of the steamer, one of the things it does is it will like get too wet. Or if I hold it like maybe I just don't know how to do it, and I hold it too close to my shirt, and it will like leave a bunch of water marks, like not stains, but like water, just like puddled on my shirt kind of. So if you're going on camera, you probably want to steam like a good 30 minutes beforehand. But like if you're going into work, it's not a big deal because it evaporates in like a couple minutes. But you couldn't like jump right into a meeting, because I've done that before and have like water stain everywhere. Whatever, it happens. But yeah, so I do that. So that it takes me like 10 minutes to get ready for it. Maybe I should say like 15 just to be safe. Drive to work. Drive to work takes me let's just say on average 15 minutes, but it could take as much as 20, 25 if there's bad traffic or I hit all the lights or something. But let's just say an average 15 minutes. So we're at 30 minutes of my day wasted. Then I park, so I get to campus, and then I got to walk to my building. Walking to my building takes, let's say, but in order for me to go right to a meeting, I need to walk to the building, stop in my office, and get there. Let's say 8 minutes. So we're at 38 minutes. No, 38 minutes, right? 38 minutes for me to get to a meeting. And you multiply that times 2 because I got to go home, and we've literally killed 3 hours of my day is shot. Plus the meeting. It's like half a day for an hour meeting. And I only live 15 minutes away from work. Ridiculous. So, as I was saying earlier, one of the cool things about this year is Zoom. Or whatever, just online meetings. I don't care about Zoom or whatever. But the fact that all my meetings are expected to be online, I'm saving that. That 3 hours was saved this week. So it's definitely that's one of the nice advantages about being home now is I'm saving a boatload of time in meetings. That 3 hours I save between there and back. Did I calculate that completely wrong? Yes, I did. It is totally not 3 hours. It's more like an hour and a half. Like an hour and 15 minutes, actually. So not 3 hours. But, yeah, my math, look, it's been a long week. It's Friday afternoon. I've had a really long week. I do not feel like doing math in my head right now. All right, let me repeat that. It has been a long week. I do not feel like doing math right now. That's why it was wrong. So it's a waste of 38 minutes times 2. So we're wasting an hour and 16 minutes, which is a waste, right? And plus the meeting, so 2 hours. So I guess I was thinking, I don't know what I was thinking. I was thinking it's Friday, and I don't know what I'm saying. That's what I was thinking. Okay, so scratch that, but yeah. Anyway, okay, so it's huge. So I'm saving a lot of that time. But man, my week's I just feel like it's been absolutely ridiculous. So another thing that's going on is that we are selling a house. I've talked about this before. I thought closing was supposed to be today, but apparently it's not. But yeah, we had to go to get these forms notarized. And so we had to because we're selling a house in New Jersey, it's Becca's father-in-law's house, we're selling it. And I think the closing is now next week. But regardless, I want to talk about this notarization that we did. So we have to get the forms notarized. So we get to UPS, we go to the UPS, and I say to the people, I say, can you come outside to do the notarization outside? Because, coronavirus, we don't want to be inside, let's just do it outside. They said no. So then, man, this guy behind the counter, I'm not sure if he was having a bad day, but he was really, really mean. So we get there. So first of all, the thing was, I said, can we do this outside? He was like, no, like really mean and nasty. Like, no, you gotta come here. Okay, I was just asking, like seeing like if this was an option. I didn't know. I thought maybe you guys were like doing something for coronavirus to help like customers want to come here, but apparently not. Okay, then it's me and Becca standing there. And we were like, okay, so we need to do the notary. And he's like, who needs it? And I was like, we need it. He was like, well, which one of you? And I was like, well, both. I was like, we both do. He's like, okay. So finally we get that straightened out, which it was just the conversation, his tone throughout the whole thing was like he was mad at us for just being there. Then he goes, if you signed these forms before you got here, we're not doing this. Did you sign the forms? I said, no, that's why we're here. No, we're here to get the forms. No, like I'm showing him like a blank page. I'm like, we're literally here to sign isn't that what we're here for, to sign the forms in front of you? I don't know, but he was just not having a good day. So we did that. I gave him my license. Went through the whole shebang. And finally, it seemed like towards the end, he maybe lightened up a little bit. But man, he was not a nice person to deal with. And you just wonder, like, why are people treating you like that? Did they just have a bad day or whatever? But you know what? It happens every time I'm in a store. I swear the employees just aren't nice, but whatever. I get it. Like, it's a pain in the butt being there and all that stuff. And it's not their store. They don't care about it. So I get why they don't treat you great. I don't know. Especially if I'm dressed like this, like with my hat on and stuff. If I'm in like a suit, they're like, hello, sir. Can I help you? But if I'm like dressed in a hat, especially if like I got my hat, I don't wear a hat backwards. But if I do, they're like, look at me like I don't even know. But I get looks. So anyway, yeah, so we did the notary. We got that taken care of. So hopefully that is being taken care of soon. Okay, so that's been my week. That's what's happening. We're watching some storms. Oh man, it looks like the southern United States is going to get hit by like two of them, like south coast. Is going to get hit by possibly two storms. Really scary watching those. I'm really glad they're not coming to Wilmington right now, but like I feel bad for the people they are coming to. Like we just had our storm. So like I hope we don't have another one, or else I've got to evacuate, which is going to really not be fun. Okay, so that's that. Other thing I want to talk about. So if you listened to me last week when I talked about, I got into like some finance talk. I was talking about stocks and things like that. If you listened to me and you were like, you know what, he said that when Apple's going to do this split that they're going to do, that it's a really good thing, and you bought Apple stock last Friday when I told you to, it's already up like 20 some dollars from the time I told you to buy it last week. Just unbelievable. It's going to do a big split. Apple and Tesla are both splitting. Apple splits in August 31st. 4-for-1 split. Just going to be ridiculous. It's just crazy. They're also, this week, they just released, they're now worth $2 trillion. $2 trillion. You know how much a trillion is? How many millions that is? It's like unbelievable that a company, they're just sitting on so much cash, they can just do so much. These major tech stocks are just like taking over. It's really, really fascinating. But even though Apple is at like all-time highs, like people who pay attention to P/E ratios, which I'm not even going to explain, but are like all concerned and stuff, but I don't even think those things matter right now. The stock's just flying up and people are using it like a bank account, which maybe is a bad sign. Maybe it's kind of like the Titanic, where everyone was like, this ship's unsinkable, and maybe when the ship appears to be unsinkable, that's when you're supposed to not get on the Titanic. So maybe I should be a little more careful. I don't know. I've been thinking those kind of thoughts since 2014. One of the things I've learned from investing is that you cannot time the market, and you should never try to. If you have faith in a company, like I do for Apple long term, then it's still a good investment if I have some kind of entrance and exit strategy. So there's this famous article out there, and it's called, like, I can't remember the name of it, so I'm going to make up a name for it, but I'm going to tell you the story. It's called, like, Bob the Investor. And Bob the Investor comes up with this plan to invest in the stock market. And Bob takes a significant amount of money and puts it in the stock market right before every single crash in the last like 30 years. Now, the point of the article is, even though Bob invested his money at the absolute worst times, at the peaks, because he had a strategy which was keeping that money in, he actually was able to retire with many millions of dollars because he kept it in for so long, kept it in even when it crashed, instead of pulling his money out, kept his money in, let it ride, and stayed there. So the moral of the story is you cannot time the market, and you shouldn't try to. So anyway, yeah, so that's like pretty much all that's going on. It's like pizza time right now for me. And no, I'm going to take a bike ride. I've already worked out today, so I swam, and that's a whole nother issue. I've been dealing with a hip injury for like almost 2 years, like a year and 8 months now. And it just started plaguing me. It like goes away and comes back. It just came back this week. I couldn't hardly walk I mean, I could walk fine, but it hurt on Tuesday after my run Monday kind of sucked. And yesterday it's finally started feeling better, but I didn't want to run today. I don't want to push it. I'm going to try for Monday, but I swam this morning and mowed the front lawn, and then I'm going to actually go for a bike ride with my oldest right now, and then we're going to jump in the pool and then eat some pizza. So anyway, I got to do that. I'm going to eat some pizza, and I'm going to jump in a pool, so that means I don't want to be talking to you guys anymore. So later, have a good weekend. I'll be back next week. See ya.